Hey guys, here's Louis. Well, finally, another video on the 68 Firebird. So this video is on, it ain't gonna be too long. It's on what I am up to. What is Louis up to at this point with the 68 Firebird? The 67 GTO was here until Memorial Day. Memorial Day, I was able to drive her out the garage. I have some videos saved up for the future, but there's still some tuning to be done on the engine on the GTO. So you guys will get an update on that soon. But here's an update on the 68 Firebird, and I'm really excited because these are the steps, okay, that you need to take, because towards the end is what's going to make your car look good once it's painted. Once it's all uniform painted, it's going to look great. Now, you subscribers that have been with me from the beginning and seen this car basically come back to life knows the work that I have done to this car. I practically rebuilt this car, restored this car, however you want to put it, from the ground up. She is a driver. She stops. She steers. She goes backwards and forwards. Okay. My buddy Jonathan at Vinyl Village Garage helped me last year, September, on his birthday, is to install the 350 Pontiac that's in it, which is a 68 also engine with a 4-speed automatic transmission, and it has a 204R in it. With that being said, guys, that it's a lot of work, but at the end it's so rewarding to even be here. I think even in this step is such a big step and such a big reward to yourself of all the hard work you have done. Okay, so here's a 68 Firebird. She's coming out good. I'm happy to say that I finally got my compressor here all wired in. Tomorrow we are going to anchor it down to the ground, and surprisingly, this compressor being so big, it's a 80-gallon compressor at 175 psi. I think she's 7.5 horsepower. Okay, this one is gonna do everything. Very high CFM. I don't know from the top of my head. I will have to look at the label on the side. But I shouldn't have no issue painting this car with this compressor. Okay, when I did my 69, I was fighting air because I used too little of a compressor. So this job should come out awesome on the 68 Firebird. So back to what I am doing here is the final block sanding. Okay, and here is where your hands become your eyes even more. I've been saying that from day one on body work. Your hands are your eye. Not so much. You do use your hands on body work, how to feel the metal for distortion and blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to block sanding, when it comes to applying filler on the parts that still needs to be a little tweaked, your hands, again, is your eyes. So just take your time on doing that, feeling the panel for any waves, okay, your high and your lows. The reason I like this red primer, believe it or not, when you are sanding, okay, and the red primer becomes lighter and lighter, the ones that stay behind that are darker red, those are your lows. And of course, if you have lows, you have to use a skim coat of body filler. Okay, I told you guys before in previous videos that I don't like to spend the high dollars on body filler. So they have your regular body filler, of course, the body filler that is used on top of your wells. I shared that in the previous videos. If you guys want me to share it again, leave a comment below. And to make that thin filler, which is the one that you really put if it has a little bit imperfections or small little pinholes, I told you, just use the honey gold. Okay, the plastic honey. That's what it's called, the plastic honey. And you kind of like dilute it another way of putting it. You kind of dilute that filler and make it really pliable, and she becomes nice and smooth, just like those fillers that are so expensive. All right. But here you go. I started Monday. Today is Wednesday. I started Monday, and I basically got from the sail panel here. I block sand. I found little imperfections, so I did a skim coat filler. I block sanded again, and I shot some primer. Okay, worked my way down. Now I'm up to here to the bottom. I just block sand that down, and on my low spots, I use a little filler. I will be priming that. Okay, I still have to sand it down smooth. Then over here, remember that I had to weld this whole gutter here to this car. The car was missing the whole gutter, and the quarter panel here was all rotted out. And Jonathan gave me this piece of metal here from a full quarter panel that he added to the Great Pumpkin project. And anything that was left over, he shared some parts with me and with some other people. That's why it's such a good idea that even if you're not going to use a whole quarter panel, the parts that you're going to be cutting off, you save them for a rainy day, for your own project, or to help other people. I always say, you help other people, God blesses you at the end. Okay, comes right back to you. So that being said, all this, so when I was doing the gutters and I did some welding here, I lost this body line. This body line is really important to me because first gen Firebirds have that body line, and I hope you guys could see it. So what I did is I used the tape. I masked the tape on this side of the line, this side of the line, following this line, and I just used this grinder, okay, with the cutoff wheel. Grinder right here, there goes the measurements. And with steady hands, which I really don't have anymore, I'm getting old, but with steady hands, I took my time, and she's right there, okay, spot on. I will use some seam sealer here. I'll use the same method. Tape on this side, tape on that side, a little seam sealer, very little. That's it, prime it. Now, guys, I have found that the rubbing alcohol, I use rubbing alcohol, and I said this in previous videos also, to clean my panels and then start working on them. Also with the seam sealer, you'll be surprised if you just have the bottle of alcohol, dip your finger and work it. Yeah, it makes it so smooth. All right, so that's how I did that. I still have this tail panel to sand and prime it, but there's no work here because this is a brand new tail panel. Okay, I basically welded from here all the way to the front. This car was missing everything. Everything needed to be replaced over here. But this is the way Louis do it. So I will block sand the whole car. And believe it or not, I'll start with 120 and go down to 180. Once I'm down to 180, okay, it's all about how you mix your primer. I want you guys to remember this and think about it. The manufacturer, when they sell you the primer, they give you their ratios, okay? Now, depending of how you like your primer mix, it's really up to you and how good of a gun you have or how big of the needle of the gun you have that you're able to shoot the thick primer. But there is ways to go around that. I show you guys with the purple gun, the Harbor Freight purple gun. I have shown you guys that it's doable, okay? It's really doable. Now, I happen to have this Avengi. The Avengi from Harbor's Freight is not a air compressor. It's like forgot the name right now. A turbine. It's a turbine system. Let me see if I could get a little picture of it right here. This right here. I bought that at Harbor. It's from Harbor's Freight. I did not buy it from Harbor's Freight though. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace, and this is the gun that it came with. Okay, and let me tell you something. I have used it. I have shot primer with it. I have shot black satin paint with it. I did it on the GTO, and it worked excellent. If you guys want me to do a review video, just let me know and I'll do that too. So yeah, I used the 120, the 180, and block sand the whole car. And where I feel that I need to apply on my lows some filler, that's where I do. Now, if you guys are sanding, right? These are the boards I like to use. I also like to come over here and I use this kit right here. I use this old school block. I have another old school block somewhere. I use this Dura block set, sanding block set. And it's cool because it has a round one, which you need it. Okay, it has all different sizes. I was smart enough. I went to Facebook Marketplace and I actually found that set. It was only one time used. The person that sold it to me told me, and I only pay $40 for it. Can't beat that. That's almost like $100 and something in some places. So since this is round, I was block sanding with this, especially here on the first gen Firebirds. Right here where the quarter panel meets the deck lid, it has a shape, okay, like a contour shape like this, and I block sanded. That's nice. That came out beautiful. So, oh, here's a very old school sanding block that I like to use. It's awesome. So that's how Louis do it, and I'll smooth it. I'll smooth the primer out at 180 because I'm using a high build primer, and I'll shoot it to hide all the scratches. Okay. I'm really thinking about using single stage paint on this Firebird here. And again, the car will be white exterior, red inside. And that being said, I'm going to tell you on my next video. So once I finish sanding the body, all right, I'm going to basically take the car apart. I'll take off the fender, both fenders, the chrome bumper that I have on her right now. This will be coming off. Okay. The chrome bumper will be coming off. And basically all the front sheet metal, I will take off the hood, because my next video most likely is going to be me painting the inside. So I need to sand this dashboard. Okay. I need to sand the wheel. I did a video on how to restore your steering wheel. I need to also paint the steering column. There's a piece in the bottom of the steering column. All right. All that, anything that needs to be red. The glove box door, I will be showing you guys in the next previous video that, I'm sorry, on the next videos that I am going to be getting the dashboard ready for paint. So before I even start on that, I need to remove all the sheet metal. I built wood horses to hold my fenders, and I had it for so long. I did my 69 like that. I did a Buddy 69 like that, and I did this 68 fenders like that, and I'm going to continue doing it like that off the car. I'm going to paint the whole front clip off the car, the doors off the car. So I'm basically just going to have this part from here, from the cow shoulder, behind this fender, the cow shoulder, all the way to the back. I'm even going to paint the deck lid off the car. This deck lid is here on the car because I need to block sand it and get into high build primer up to the end. And once I finish painting the parts that I need to paint red in the car, and I'll let it cure, then I'll just cover it up. And at that time, I will have everything pretty much ready for the last sanding on the car. And I don't go low to like 600 grit. I go about and I stop like at 400 grit. Especially if you're using a single stage, I believe is really safe to use 400 and stop at 400. Okay. And when I get to 400, some guys do the dry sanding. I like to use 400 wet paper. Okay. I mean, I just like it. To me, it's more, it looks like, you could see it getting smoothed out better and clean. So I still need to do this side. A reminder to you guys out there that are gonna do your project and are gonna be here soon and to this part of the build. Remember, a whole car does not come easy to sand. Okay, a whole car is not easy to sand. After a while, you get bored, you get discouraged, you get crazy, and I don't want you guys to hate your project. I want you guys to love your project. Hey, maybe even in the future, buy more projects like myself. Do a panel at a time. I'm not gonna move forward on the car until I finish this quarter panel. From this quarter panel, I'm gonna move to the other quarter panel, okay? Then I'm gonna move to that deck filler panel, then to my deck lid. All right, and from there on forward, the doors, I'll do it once they off the car. The fenders, I do it once it's off the cars. My final sanding, I don't need to sand the whole car together because I'm gonna paint the car separate. But I do suggest that you do your sanding that I'm up like right now. I'm doing the sanding that if I'm finding any imperfection, I'm fixing it. Yes, do it like this, the car complete, because you can see how everything is gonna look together. Have a good idea. And another big pointer here I like to do, if you could have a roller of a car and roll your car outside at the sunlight, okay, or drive it. This one happens that is a driver, so I could drive it outside the garage on a real sunny day. Let me tell you something. You could have all the lights in your garage in the world. My garage have light real good. I have light all over this garage, okay? And let me tell you something. There's nothing like the natural sunlight that God have blessed us with to see the body work on the car. See where there's a mistake and still needs to be fixed, use the sun. I mean, if you cannot use the sun, try to have a spotlight that is really strong. Okay, I have one somewhere. I can't find it at this moment, but yeah, and the light is what's gonna help you, and of course your hands. But this is Louis again with the 68 Firebird project, guys. I'm hammering it every day. I started Monday, and I said to myself, and I'm stubborn like that. I won't call it stubborn so much, but I'm dedicated like that. Once I tell myself I ain't stopping, believe you me, I ain't stopping. Okay, I did the same thing when I had to weld this car. I had a goal, I reached that goal. I even reached it earlier, and I ain't stopping this time. I'm gonna, if it wasn't for the GTO work that I did, this car would have been painted already. So I ain't stopping. My goal is no later than the second week of next month, which is July, have this car painted. All right, guys. Thank you for the new subscribers. I hope to keep getting on subscribers. It helps me out. I love to share my knowledge on these cars. I wish you guys all the best on your projects. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.